Hi, Nomathemba. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence for this chat. Well, let's jump in as we begin. Please give us an introduction of who you are.
Okay, my name is Nomathemba Molefi. I am a registered counselor and a personal mastery coach. So I've been in the business for 10 years now, more or less. I'm in South Africa. I'm in Johannesburg, in the West Rand of Johannesburg. I work primarily online with my coaching, like one-on-one coaching. But I also do other various projects for, like I affiliate for other companies. So depending on whatever the work is, sometimes I do go on site, sometimes I do see people like face to face. But yeah, in my own coaching business, I prefer to work online. I don't always do because some people want to come in person, you know how it is. And so we are here to help,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
yeah, that's how I work.
Online coaching and online counseling has been happening for a long time, but with
Yeah.
COVID, it's now become even more so. And many do prefer online, some prefer in person. Do you have any views on why and what impact that would have and otherwise?
Look, obviously online is way more convenient for a lot of reasons, right? You don't have to be in a specific place, you don't have to travel. And I have found that like the results are the same, whether you are online or in person. So for me, it's just about the convenience more than anything. Plus, obviously, with working online, you reach a more broader audience, as in you can work with anybody who is anywhere. And so it's convenient for that too, that
Mm,
it gives you access to more people and you can do it anyway. You
yeah,
know, there's very little restriction in terms of what you can. All you need is like a good internet connection and obviously like a fairly good computer.
yeah,
But yeah, you can even do it on WhatsApp. It's so convenient. I mean, if you cut the traveling out,
yeah.
that's like half the job done, you know.
That's
And
right.
so people can do it like on their lunchtime at work. And if you do evening sessions, for example, then it's easy. You know, the person doesn't have to leave home at
Mm.
night. It's the best.
Totally agree. Totally agree. But
Mhm.
obviously, that doesn't mean you don't do personal because some people do prefer to meet in person at least once, in a while.
Yeah, that's why I
Mm.
said I prefer online, but there are people who like insist I want to come in person,
Yeah.
you know, and so it just all depends on the person. And sometimes you can maybe see them once or twice and then say, okay, let's move it to online, just because now they've gotten to know you. So it's
Yes.
it's personal preference. So it all depends on what the client agrees to, what the client prefers, but
Mm.
otherwise it's just better.
You
Hmm.
mentioned that you are by profession a counselor.
Yes, I'm a registered counselor with the HPCSA. For me, it gels. It's sort of like similar work, although there's a little bit of difference here and there, but they go together very well. You
Yes,
know, it's a
yes.
holistic kind of approach where you do the counseling and then as you progress, you move into the coaching.
Yeah,
Mm.
and for me, that is quite interesting. And I think for people who are watching this, it would be interesting to know what would be, in your opinion, the biggest differences between counseling and coaching?
Counseling mostly deals with the past, right? You come in with your wounds. Yes, coaching also covers it, but
Yeah.
counseling, I think, is more in depth in terms of working with whatever your past has caused, right? And then you get to this place where you are now, you've sorted it out. You've worked through whatever wounds you came up with. And then when you get to that level, then you need to move forward as possibly a new person, right? Because you are no longer attached to whatever your past brought you.
Yeah.
So then when you get to that point, if you don't sort of move forward and plan for the future or design a new future for yourself, you find that you get stuck and you might regress because,
Mm,
the brain is very comfortable going backwards and just putting you in your comfort zone. And so you're like, I don't know who else to be.
mm,
So, I'm going to still be that version of myself, even though it wasn't working for me, but because I don't know what I want. And a lot of people actually, if you go into this space, you'll
yeah.
find that a lot of people know what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want.
Mm,
And therefore that's the coaching comes in to say, okay, who are you becoming now? And how do you move forward? What beliefs do you need? And all of that kind of thing. So that we can now start designing your future. So I describe it as counseling is about the past and coaching is about the future. You see?
wow, I like that.
Mm.
And I can clearly see why you said, the two of them are now a holistic approach to intervention. So, in your journey in coaching and counseling, have you come to a point where one day you felt this is why I do what I do? Any moments that you can share with us which have made you feel so fulfilled that you feel this is what I live for?
Yes, the answer is a definite yes, because within this career, you get to see people transform. You get to see people heal. You get to sometimes, I dare say, save people's lives, right? Because I've had, for example, a client who said, when I came to see you, I had actually been preparing to, take myself out.
Oh,
And now that I've spoken to you, I've totally changed my mind, you
mm,
know? So things like that. And you get to see people just coming out of the shell
mm,
and it's like you can physically see it, right? They brighten up, they
yeah,
they open up. It's like they come out of this thing and suddenly it's like they're in the light. And so
wow,
yes, definitely it's very, very fulfilling. A lot like that has happened so many times.
mm,
And I get obviously clients who I've seen even years back saying, I really don't know where I would be had I not met you. Like I am in such a good place that I could never fathom that
yeah,
this was possible,
yeah,
So definitely the most fulfilling thing ever. You get to you get to do so much. You get to
yeah,
be there for people when they are vulnerable, in such an honest and like in a way that they feel so comfortable talking to you about whatever is their deepest, darkest things,
yeah,
know that they're safe. I
mm,
don't think there's a lot of professions that can offer that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the authenticity of the relationship is very important because
yeah.
you have to be in a good place and you have to be like in that place where you're like not going to go, oh my God, you did that.
No, you can't.
You know, so it's a relationship of trust. And I
Yeah,
mean, that's literally what my name means, isn't it? Nomathemba.
mm,
It means
yeah,
trustworthy. So I
yeah,
think as bacho ka Setswana vitso lebe ke seromo,
mm,
so definitely called me to it through my name.
yes, yes. And I
Yeah.
like that, called to this.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And we deal with very heavy issues sometimes, like you were saying, someone just about to take their lives. But as a profession, there are things like secondary trauma, there are things like emotional fatigue that comes with helping people like that. As much as we love to help people, we do suffer our own traumas. How do you recover? What do you do to help you so that you can keep giving to the clients that you see, firstly? And secondly, do you have any experience with working with people who are close to you, like friends and family? Let's start with the first one. What do you do to refresh, recover?
The thing about me is that I am spiritual,
Mm.
right? So I talk a lot and teach a lot about
Um,
energy, the
yes.
universe, inner being,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, right? And the things that I obviously tell my clients are what I also do for myself, right?
Mm.
So I like to understand things from an energy perspective and from that vision that looks forward, right? To
Yeah.
say this makes sense because of this and whatever, whatever, right? So I don't ever internalize these pain. I understand whatever I have to pay for, that's why we
Mm.
found each other,
Yeah.
right? And so when they come, I look forward to their transformation rather than feeling sorry that they went through this because I have certain beliefs that are held very deep.
Yeah.
Things like everything happens in your favor, no matter how bad it seems. That's one of my core beliefs. And
Yes.
so when you come to me with your thing, right, whatever your issue is, I can say, this has clarified something for you, or this has taught you
Mm.
something
Yeah.
about what you prefer and what you want and all of that. And
Mm.
let's get you to understand that. Let's get you to see that side of things rather than dwelling on the problem, because
Mm.
you're not here for me to help you cry,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so even after we do whatever work, I more often than not have a sense of satisfaction because I feel like I channel your inner being and I invite your soul, your energy to speak to you through me
Mm.
and tell you whatever it is that you need to hear that
Mm.
needs to
Mm.
help you, right? And
Oh,
so that's how I go into it. So I don't go
wow.
into it to listen to your things and
Yes.
be like, oh, this guy is going through a lot. Wabona, and be worried about you. I know that because you've come here, we have found each other.
Yeah.
Therefore, it means you are obviously you need to do the work,
Yeah. Yeah.
you need to be, if I say to you, I want you to, I'm giving you this homework, you need to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
how you get helped. But if you do nothing, then you can't blame me either, right?
Mm. Mm.
Because
Mm.
I have given you what you came for.
No.
So basically the answer is that I don't take things personally. I don't internalize your issues. I look forward to the the favor part of the hardship because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
everything must have two sides, right? The
Yes.
wanted side and the unwanted. And therefore that's what my focus is on. So I don't find myself holding on to things and suffering because of them. In fact, I'm like, okay, let's find you resources on how to move you from here. Because most of the time, things are about perspective, right?
Yes.
It's how
Yes.
you look at things, the meaning you give to things. And if
Yeah.
you can change the meaning, you change your experience of the thing. So for me, I focus on the solution, I focus on the outcome we're looking for, rather than on the fact that you are suffering right now.
Clearly, you live what you preach.
Mm.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing as you say that. The things that you teach people and take people through, you live them, and that's what
Yeah,
helps you. Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing. And the second part of the question, any experience with people who are
Family and friends.
close to you?
Look,
Mm.
obviously, the family and friends won't come to me as
Yeah.
a therapist or counselor or a coach. They come as just conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And at times, you obviously have to be able to discern whether a person just needs an ear
Hmm.
just to talk. They're not looking for a solution, they're not looking for advice, and you have to be able to withhold. But also, when you do then try and show them whatever direction, you also have to accept that they will hear it from their perspective. And if they are ready for it, it will help them. If
Yeah.
not, and it's not personal. right?
Mm,
It's not
mm,
that
mm, mm.
I tried to help you how to say, you know. It's they're just they're just not there.
Yeah.
They're just not in that space of alignment with the information that they're getting, you know. So yes, I do talk to family and friends, but not on an official work kind of relationship. It's
Mm,
just like on a
mm.
normal family or friend relationship.
I mean, I get tempted to send them to another coach, I think there's this person that I should.
Yeah, yeah. I never recommend myself as
Yeah.
their coach. Obviously, people also think, you're gonna know their deepest emotions and what
Oh,
they're
yeah.
struggling with. And there's that element of, are you going to tell anybody,
Mm,
like
mm.
the not wanting to be exposed
Yeah,
and all of
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? So you have to understand that most of the time when they come to you, you probably should say, go see a coach. I can
Mm,
recommend somebody if you want, or
yeah.
here's a directory where you find coaches, so you
Mm,
can go find your own coach. But I don't get involved in the sourcing of the coach.
yeah, yeah,
Because, sometimes it's better to let people have their journey,
yeah, yeah.
as painful as it might look on the outside.
And let them own their journey.
Mm, mm.
Mm, okay.
Can just like support.
You said a word that is interesting to me again, discerning. And I find that as a coach, you have to be. Sometimes you sit in front of someone and they are presenting something that sounds like and looks like something you've dealt with before. But at the end of the day, it's completely different. Sometimes the approach that you have prepared is not the right one. So you have to be discerning, you have to be understanding as a coach. What is
Mm.
your experience with that?
It's important to take case by case,
Mm,
right? You are not getting, even if you are coming back to my sessions maybe after a couple of years or whatever,
mm,
you are not that person, right? And
yeah,
so even if me and you have the same experience or are exposed to the same thing, our perception, the meaning, and everything is not going to be the same. Even if
yeah,
we're standing right next to each other, if you
yeah.
had to relay the story about what just happened,
Mm,
you would probably pick up on some things that I probably wouldn't, right?
mm, mm.
And so every person is different, every case is different.
Yeah, that's right.
And for me, yes, there are techniques and methods
Yeah.
of doing, the work,
Mm,
but it has to be like based on what's going on with that person. Just
yes.
because I started here with this one and ended there doesn't mean I'm going to go through exactly. I might use the same techniques, but I might use them in different times
Mm,
for different subjects,
yeah.
whatever the point is, right? So it's case by case to say, yes, this person is experiencing something that one experienced, but
Mm,
their perception of it is different, or how it's impacting them, how they are understanding why this is happening,
yeah.
or how to deal with it is different. So you have
Mm,
to base it on that person, you see.
mm. Anything else that you'd like to add to our chat?
This has been for me, like from where it started to coming here and to where I'm going, it has been quite the spiritual journey, right? It has been a guided journey, where I draw a lot of inspiration from my inner being, from like
Mm,
listening to my instincts and things like that. And yeah, like tuning into that inner voice and
mm,
and being able to understand yourself, taking care of your own emotional health, and being able to obviously in your own life, you are also going through whatever it is that you're
Yeah,
going through. You
yeah.
want something, whatever, whatever. So you need, like for me, I've just learned to just be present for myself and be in a space where I can connect easily so that I
Mm,
can, because I think of myself as more of a like I like to channel, I like to channel source energy and
yeah.
and stuff. So I like to really be tuned in to listen. But at the moment, I'm actually going into a group coaching stage, right? I want to get into, or I'm starting it anyway. I'm already on the way to it, where I will do group coaching,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that is very exciting for me.
Mm,
And I look forward to how that will unfold. And obviously, that's different from working one-on-one
mm,
with
mm.
people, because then you have to have like a structured program to say,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing this week, this is what we're doing next week, and so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Who knows? I might just reach out and say, do you know anyone who would like to join my
Totally.
coaching
Totally.
program?
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's still based on the same principles that I've spoken about: energy, the universe, perspective, giving
Yeah.
meaning,
Yeah.
beliefs and shaping your beliefs, and
Mm,
forgiveness, all of
mm.
those kind of steps that I take with the one-on-ones. I'll be doing it in a group setting. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to this.
Great. Great. Well, wishing for you an amazing 2026. The year is only starting. Great things will come. Great things will happen.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for this time.
Thank you, then.